Hey guys, welcome back to Buzzer to Buzzer. Today we're going to be bringing you a mock draft for the 2020 NFL Draft. We're going to go through the first 16 picks and discuss what we think the first picks are going, or what those picks are going to be. Let's head over to our commissioner.
Hello, welcome to the 2020 NFL Draft. Thank you to the host city of Las Vegas for holding this year's NFL Draft. We got a lot in store today, and thank you to our sponsors, Buzzer to Buzzer. Be sure to check them out. They got a lot of fresh content regarding sports. Anyway, the 2020 NFL Draft is now officially open. The Cincinnati Bengals are now on the clock.
Okay, guys, with the first overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, I believe that the Cincinnati Bengals should select Joe Burrow, quarterback, LSU. He seems like the best option for the Bengals. No doubt Joe Burrow should be drafted first overall. What do you guys think?
I mean, I don't think we need deliberation over this. Let's go to the second pick.
The man put up 60 touchdowns, 202 passer rating. He's proven all the haters wrong. Amazing Cinderella ending. Not much deliberation to be done here.
With the second pick, the Washington Redskins, they're going to take Chase Young. I mean, there's no question. Ohio State lineman, like, where else do you go with that pick? I mean, the Washington Redskins need a lineman. He's their answer. He's the best available in the draft.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. No question, Chase Young is the best pick.
6'5", 215-pound, amazing prospect. In my opinion, one of the best prospect who's not a quarterback in this draft, actually. He's shown that he can get the job done. 131 total pressures. Chase Young is a great second pick, and I think the Redskins can hopefully make it work with the Dwayne Haskins combination too. So, with the third pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, I think that the Detroit Lions should select Tua. I'm not going to say his last name. Tua Tagovailoa.
Okay, that is 100% the wrong pick.
Blasphemy.
They don't need a quarterback. They have Matthew
Stafford, who has proven a lot, even with not the greatest offensive or defensive team, that he can be a really good quarterback. So why would they select Tua? I think that the Detroit Lions should select linebacker Isaiah Simmons, because I think he's the most versatile defensive player in this draft. He's incredibly athletic, has the speed, has the size. He can do it all for the Lions, and that's what they need right now, a strong defensive player.
In my opinion, I think they should select Jeff Okudah. I think they lost Darius Slay, and he's the perfect, fill-in starter for them. So I could see Isaiah Simmons or Jeff Okudah going to the Lions, but definitely not Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah, I could 100% see Simmons or Okudah going to the Lions, but I have to say that Isaiah Simmons is the best fit for them. They need a defensive centerpiece. He's there. I mean, he's the best available player on the board. You have to take him to help your defense, but definitely no Tua.
I don't know. Tua has a lot of upside left, and I believe, in my opinion, that he can get eventually in a year or two can become better than Matthew Stafford, and this pick can pay off for them. Go ahead.
Right. It's about the need of each team, and the Lions don't need a quarterback right now. Okay, you never know how much potential Tua has, and he could surpass Matthew Stafford on another team, but not on the Lions, because that's not what they need right now at this moment.
Well, okay, then I would rather pick Jeff Okudah, considering how the Eagles traded away Darius Slay and are missing an interior piece. Jeff Okudah, in my opinion, then. Well, let's move on to the fourth.
All right, with the fourth pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the New York Giants will select, I believe, Tristan Wirfs, O-lineman from Iowa. He's the best O-lineman prospect available, and you plug him in at left tackle to protect Daniel Jones, give some added boost to Saquon Barkley's running game. I think that overall it's going to help their offense, help Daniel Jones succeed.
I'm going to have to disagree with that. I don't think that he's the best O-lineman in the draft. I think that title belongs to Andrew Thomas. So I believe that the Giants should draft Andrew Thomas, and because of the same reason for what you said, but I do believe he's a better player.
In my opinion, I think that the New York Giants should take Isaiah Simmons, if considering that he's not taken by the third overall pick by the Lions. I think that he's a great linebacker. He's proven at Clemson he's great. He played 160-plus snaps with Trevor Lawrence, and I think that he's what the Giants are missing with the Daniel Jones combination.
I think the Giants have to go with the O-lineman here with this pick. They need somebody to protect Daniel Jones so he can flourish and, continue to grow as a quarterback. I don't think Isaiah Simmons is the answer, even if he's not picked third overall. I think they still need to go with the O-lineman. And speaking of O-lineman, Tristan Wirfs from Iowa. Easily the best lineman in this draft. You can go – there's no mistake with picking him.
All right. Let's move on to the fifth. With the fifth pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, I believe that the Miami Dolphins should select Tua Tagovailoa, considering he's not taken by the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, I definitely think that this is where they should choose Tua, and definitely not the Lions, because unlike the Lions, the Dolphins need a quarterback. Ryan Fitzpatrick is not consistent, and he cannot get the job done. And I believe that Tua is the perfect option for the Dolphins.
Yeah, I think they've built a good team. They have good receivers. They have a good O-line. They're adding pieces to their defense, and all they're missing is a quarterback. And Tua is the best one available, so I think this is the right fit.
Yeah, no, I'm going to have to disagree with you guys. I think the Miami Dolphins should take Justin Herbert here. I feel like there's too many question marks with Tua and how he's going to come back from this hip injury. He's already failed 2 physicals from teams. Like, he's failed their physicals. One of those teams is inside the top 10. What we have to understand is Tua may be the better quarterback, but we don't know how he's going to come back after this injury. And I think the Miami Dolphins should go with the safer pick with Justin Herbert.
Yeah, it's definitely a gamble choosing between somebody who could potentially have more upside or somebody who's proven that they're healthy right now and can get the job done. Anyway, let's move on to the sixth pick. Abi, what do you think?
So the sixth pick, as Harsh was saying, I would pick Tua for fifth. But the sixth pick, I would pick Justin Herbert because I believe that Tua has a little more upside, even though he's not proven to. You don't know how he's going to do in the NFL, especially due to his recent injuries. But I do believe that he has a higher upside in being in the NFL, and I think that Justin Herbert would fit right in with the Chargers, especially after Phillip Rivers left, and they're in desperate need of a quarterback, and he can definitely fill in that role.
Yeah, I believe that Justin Herbert can possibly even sit for a year if needed. Tyrod Taylor could come in, help him out a little bit, and then he could plug the gap right there. So I think Justin Herbert's best fit here. It's the 6th pick.
Yeah, I agree with you guys, but I said Justin Herbert for the previous pick because I believe he's a safer bet. So in the scenario that the Miami Dolphins do go with Justin Herbert, they have to take Tua. I mean, sure, he's more of a gamble than Justin Herbert, but he does have upside, and I feel like it's a gamble they should take.
Sorry, yeah, the Los Angeles Chargers, they should take offensive tackle Mekhi Becton from Louisville. I think that they got to be ready to let Tyrod Taylor be in the driver's seat, let him have some freedom, let him try the team out, give him a year at least. Take an offensive tackle, see how he does. And, it's a trial by error thing. Sure, they could take Justin Herbert and replace Tyrod Taylor, but at least they got to give him a chance to prove what he got.
Well, I definitely think that when you consider NFL teams, Ryan, every year they try to, put up the best record and, acquire the best players that they can. And I definitely don't think that, especially the Chargers, having, not having the most successful seasons, I think that they should try to go all out this season and draft a quarterback who they know it can perform well, and they should not just wait a year and give Tyrod Taylor the reins.
I don't know. I have to kind of agree with Rayan. I think going with the O-line might actually be a safer pick. Sure, it might not be a direct investment where they might become a winning team or even have a chance of winning the division, especially in the AFC West. But I think getting an O-lineman, not only one, gives Tyrod Taylor a chance to prove himself next season. And if he doesn't, you take a quarterback next year. I mean, you're not going to be successful if he can't prove himself. Trevor Lawrence is available next year. I mean, you can just go with that.
Well, let's move on to the 7th pick. Arden, you want to start off?
I think with the 7th pick, the Carolina Panthers should take Derek Brown from Auburn. I think this is a no-brainer here. They lost Luke Kuechly to retirement and James Bradbury to the Giants, I believe. And so they need to reload their defensive roster. I think you get the best D lineman here, help produce pressures, and help get that defense back on track.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with what Arden said. Derek Brown is a phenomenal defensive player, and the Panthers really need a player right now because of what Arden said.
Yeah, he's a great defensive tackle. Not much debate here. Considering that the Panthers lost on Kawan Short as well, he's being released. I think that Derek Brown is going to be a great asset to the Panthers.
Yeah, the Panthers really need to look at rebuilding this defense, and I believe Derek Brown is that first step into rebuilding a nice, strong, and young defense for the Carolina Panthers.
All right, let's move on to the number 8 pick. With the number 8 pick, I believe that the Arizona Cardinals should select offensive tackle Tristan Wirfs from Iowa. I think that he's a great offensive lineman who can help, considering Arizona Cardinals with the Kyler Murray and now DeAndre Hopkins combination, Larry Fitzgerald. I think that having a good offensive tackle is a key piece needed to ensure that that combination of great wide receiver and QB.
Okay, so based off the fact that if Tristan Wirfs is picked earlier in the draft by the Giants because they also need an O lineman, I would pick Tristan Wirfs if he wasn't taken, because I do believe that Andrew Thomas is the better O lineman. But yeah, I have to agree with you there.
I believe that Tristan Wirfs is going to be taken earlier. As I said, I think he's going to the Giants, and therefore I believe here Jedrick Willis Jr. goes to the Cardinals. I think he's the second best tackle in the draft after Tristan Wirfs. I think they get to help Kyler Murray here and help stabilize that offense.
Yeah, no doubt. They need an offensive lineman here, especially with that DeAndre Hopkins addition. They need to protect Kyler Murray so he can, have enough time to get those passes off to Larry Fitzgerald or DeAndre Hopkins. I think that the New York Giants should take Tristan Wirfs, leaving Andrew Thomas or Jedrick Willis as their options. Either are good, but I think they should go with Andrew Thomas here.
All right, let's move on to the number 9 pick. Harsh, what do you think?
I think that the Jacksonville Jaguars, they'll get Jeff Okudah here. I mean, they lost A.J. Boye to the Denver Broncos, or they traded him away to the Denver Broncos. And, they need that cornerback, especially since Jalen Ramsey is now in L.A. It's a very important position. I don't think the Detroit Lions will be taking a quarterback.
Yeah, I'm going to go with what Harsh said. Jeff Okudah is a great player, and I definitely think he's going to fit in with the Jaguars, and they need him.
I think the Jaguars should take Javon Kinlaw from South Carolina. They lost Calais Campbell in that horrible trade to the Ravens, and they have to fill that spot. So I think they should take Javon Kinlaw. I think he could be a day one starter and have an immediate impact on that defense.
Yep, I totally agree with you, Arian. I think Javon Kinlaw, defensive tackle from South Carolina, is the way to go. I think that considering they also lost on Marcel Darius, that the Jacksonville Jaguars need a key piece, and like Kinlaw, and he's gonna help them turn the franchise around, hopefully. Well, let's move on to the number 10 pick. Abi, what do you think?
So with the 10th pick, I think that the Cleveland Browns should select O-lineman Jedrick Willis Jr. if he's not taken earlier, because no question that they have a ton of offensive talent. But what Baker Mayfield especially needs right now is an offensive line that will allow him to not have to scramble out of the pocket every single play, where he either throws interceptions or he gets sacked for losses.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with a B on this one. I do agree that they need an offensive lineman, but considering that I believe that the Cardinals take Jedrick Willis with the 8th pick, I believe the Browns should go with Andrew Thomas, my third best offensive line. Just like you said, B, no question they need to protect Baker Mayfield better, and Andrew Thomas is perfect for that role.
Yeah. For sure, the Cleveland Browns need to go with the best available offensive lineman, and with Tristan Wirfs and Andrew Thomas already off the board, they should definitely go with Jedrick Willis.
Yeah, I believe that if Andrew Thomas is taken, then Jedrick Willis is the answer. However, I think that Andrew Thomas is going to fall to number 10 and go with the Browns. Offensive tackle from Georgia, he had 37 pressures for blocking more than 1,000 career pass blocks on snaps. I think that if Andrew Thomas is not taken, he can be a key asset to the Browns and allow that offense to finally get rolling. Well, let's move on to the number 11th pick. Arian, what do you think?
Now, I believe that most of the great O-linemen have been taken. So considering that, with the 8th pick, I believe the Jets should take Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver from Alabama. In my opinion, the best receiver in this class. I think they need to help out Sam Darnold. It was a tough one here between Mekhi Becton and Jerry Jeudy, but right now their role, the Jets organization, their role is to help Sam Darnold as much as possible, and I think Jerry Jeudy can be that day one starter.
Yeah, I think Jerry Jeudy's a phenomenal player, and especially after Robbie Anderson left to the Panthers, I think that the Jets are in crucial need of a wide receiver. So yeah, I have to agree with Arian.
Yeah.
No,
go ahead.
Yeah, I personally think that the Jets should select offensive tackle Jedrick Willis. I think he's going to drop to number 11, in my opinion, and I think that they need a run blocker, and I don't think they're really in need of a wide receiver at this moment. I think they need somebody who can protect the QB, and I think offensive tackle Jedrick Willis can get it done.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to disagree with you, Rayon. They definitely need a wide receiver. But the wide receiver they need to go with here is CeeDee Lamb. Because with the Jets losing Robbie Anderson, they need somebody who can be that number one wide receiver and you can come in and fill that, plug that hole in the offense. And, Henry Ruggs and Jerry Jeudy, they've been pairing and sharing that, number one wide receiver role and at Alabama. And I don't think either of them shown that they're ready to prove that they can be that number one wide receiver on a team.
All right. Well, let's move on to the number 12 pick, the Las Vegas Raiders. Abi, what do you think?
So, having said that, the Jets should select Jerry Jeudy. I have to go with the Raiders have to select CeeDee Lamb here because, as Hart said, he's a great wide receiver. I just think that Jerry Jeudy has a little edge over him, so I'm gonna have to go with Lamb.
Yeah, I agree with the B here. I believe Jerry Jeudy is a better receiver, and the Las Vegas Raiders, he will be taken before the Vegas Raiders pick, and so they'll land CeeDee Lamb from wide receiver from Oklahoma. I think he's the best receiver available, and they need to give Derek Carr more help on the outside.
Yep, 100% agree with you, Ari, and I believe that CeeDee Lamb is a great wide receiver. He's proven what he can do, and pairing him up with Derek Carr and John Gruden and the boys can make sure that the Raiders are back on track towards getting some wins and making the playoffs.
No, I believe that CeeDee Lamb is the best wide receiver in the draft, and as I said, he would be going to the New York Jets. So I believe the Las Vegas Raiders, they have a decision to make here. Which wide receiver from Alabama do they take? Jerry Jeudy and Henry Ruggs. And I believe just from watching them both at Alabama this year, Jerry Jeudy is the easy choice to make between both of them. And so I believe they will be going with Jerry Jeudy.
All right. Well, let's move to the 13th pick, which the San Francisco 49ers have via the Indianapolis Colts. I believe that with the 13th pick, the 49ers should select the Henry Ruggs from wide receiver from Alabama, considering he's not taken up to this point. He's a 4.27 second 40-yard dash. The man is great. I would personally take him over Jeudy as well. Henry Ruggs is a great wide receiver, and I think pairing him up with Jimmy Garoppolo and those boys, they can get suited. Considering they also lost out on a key asset, Emmanuel Sanders, I think he's a good replacement.
Yeah, exactly, Rion. I think Emmanuel Sanders being gone, they need to get another piece in there to fill his spot. And I think Henry Ruggs can work beautiful on the play action offense with Kyle Shanahan in the running game. He's a vertical threat similar to Tyreek Hill. I think he's going to be able to help Jimmy Garoppolo a lot this year.
Yeah, I definitely think this is a good pick. I think that this he's selected perfectly where the pick is not too early or too late because I do believe that Jerry Jeudy and CeeDee Lamb are more talented than he is. But however, I think this is a good pick and they need a wide receiver.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with the 49ers taking lineman Javon Kinlaw. I think the 49ers, they traded away DeForest Buckner because, one, he was getting too expensive and they wouldn't be able to pay out that contract for them to continue these championship runs. I think bringing in a young lineman who could adequately replace that spot on the defense allows them to be in championship contention next year.
All right. Well, let's go to the 14th overall pick, which the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have. Harsh, what do you think?
I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I think they go with a cornerback here. I think they go with C.J. Henderson. I believe their offense has a lot of strong points with Tom Brady, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. I think they need to add a defensive piece, and I think C.J. Henderson's the answer there.
I have to disagree with Harsh in terms of defense. In terms of him going defense, I believe they need to protect Tom Brady, and therefore I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers should select Mekhi Becton, offensive tackle from Louisville. Tom Brady needs all the help he can get, considering his age, and now that he has weapons, he needs the offensive line, and I think Mekhi Becton can be effective starter in the league.
I'm gonna have to agree with Harsh actually on this one. I do believe that they need a defensive player right now because their offense is really stacked with Tom Brady, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin. So yeah, they need a defensive piece right now, and I believe that C.J. Henderson is the best option.
Yeah, I totally agree with Harsh and Nabi on this one. Adding Tom Brady is a great move. With Mike Evans, I think their offense is set. Essentially, all they need is the other half now, which is the defense, and I think C.J. Henderson can complete that. Well, let's move on to the 15th pick, which the Denver Broncos have. Arian, what do you think?
I believe Denver Broncos need to go with the receiver here, especially to help out Drew Lock. And so the fourth best receiver available, in my opinion, best receiver is Justin Jefferson, wide receiver from LSU. I think he can be effective slot receiver for Drew Lock. They have Cortland Sutton on the outside, and they have Melvin Gordon now in the backfield. and I think that could be a lethal trio in the league next year.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree with you, Arian. I think that they have to go with the offensive lineman here. I think they made a lot of offseason moves. They brought AJ Boyan in. They helped build that defensive line. I think they add one more piece to that offensive line with Mekhi Becton, and it secures that as a strong offensive line to protect Drew Lock.
I think I'm gonna have to agree with Arian on this one. I think Justin Jefferson is a move. He's a great slot receiver, as Arian pointed out. With all his points, he's going to be a great asset for the Denver Broncos. And with Drew Lock, I think that's the way to go for them.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Arian and Rayan here. With their defense, with Von Miller, I think that they don't really need any defensive players, and they are in desperate need of wide receivers right now. So yeah, that's the best pick.
All right. Well, the final pick, the 16th pick, at least at what we're doing, which the Atlanta Falcons have. Harsh, what do you think?
I think the Atlanta Falcons, by securing Todd Gurley, they really cemented a strong offensive attack that they're going to have this year. And I believe that offense is very stacked and should be good for the future. So I think they need to add onto their defense. And with edge rusher K'Lavon Chaseon, I'm struggling with his name. But I think that's the edge rusher they need, and it's going to be a strong centerpiece.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna have to agree with Harsh on that one. He's a great defensive player, and they really need him right now. As Harsh said, with the great offense, the defense could be a little better. So yeah, he's a perfect choice.
I have to disagree with you guys on this one. I believe their defensive line is very solid, and their secondary is where they need help right now. Considering they lost Desmond Trufant, I think they need to take safety Xavier McKinney from Alabama this year. I think he's the best safety on the board. He helps with their secondary a lot, and after losing Desmond Trufant, they need to fill those gaps in the secondary.
I definitely believe with Ari, 100% agree. I think that safety Xavier McKinney from Alabama is the way to go. They already have their offense piece set, as Harsh and you guys pointed out. I think that he's like Isaiah Simmons in a way. Reminds me of his game. They marry each other pretty well. And McKinney can play any position, whether it be a box safety or free safety, and he's going to be a great asset for them. All right. Well, I think that wraps up the first 16 picks of our NFL mock draft. Today was a bit of a shorter video, and we discussed our picks and what we think should be the top 16 picks in this year's 2020 NFL draft. Despite wherever the draft is going to be held, I think they're considering doing it over live stream now with the whole pandemic going on. Any other comments you guys got?
No.
Well, we think it's going to be a good draft. Definitely the first 5 picks are going to be fun to watch, and seeing where key pieces like Tua and Joe Burrow will land, and if there are any trades made. Well, we hope to keep you updated with all that information. At Buzzer to Buzzer, we'll be updating you with all the information, debating over what happens post NFL draft. We'll be talking about more NFL offseason moves, debating more NBA topics here at Buzzer to Buzzer. We hope that you guys keep watching. Follow us, comment any ideas, anything which you disagree or agree with us in the comments below. Follow us on social media, subscribe to our channel, like this video. We hope that you guys enjoyed our mock draft. We'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.